Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're talking about 5 powerful ways to protect your energy from negativity. It's our human nature sometimes to just think the worst case scenario about things, and I definitely want to help you out to protect your energy from negativity, because people will throw it at you when you're a positive person, an influential person. People will throw negativity at you even when you're not doing anything. Number 1, the first tip I'm going to give you: out of sight, out of mind. This quote has changed my life. So I know for us, millennials, Gen Zers, we love social media. Like, social media is our life. I know I went about a year without my Instagram, but not without social media. Instagram, I'm messing with Threads, I'm messing with YouTube, I'm messing with Pinterest. We know the ones that are the most toxic. If we see people on our social media that either gives us negative energy, negative vibes, that's when you have to come to the realization that it's time to remove them from your timeline. When you remove them from your timeline, you won't see them. And what happens when you don't see them? You don't even think about them. Not really. Like, when you go on social media, you are constantly letting other people's lives get inside of your head, right? And what you see on a daily basis on your social media, you want to make sure it's no negativity from anybody from your past. You should not be following the shade room. If you're trying to get away from negativity, why are you following the shade room? Why are you following anybody who's ever giving you any negative, bad vibes? If you're an overthinker, just mute them. Because if you mute them, then you won't see their posts, you won't see their stories, and you also won't really hurt their feelings. At the end of the day, if you want to get negativity out of your peripheral, out of your reality, you have to stop allowing it to be in your reality. Out of sight, out of mind. When things aren't in your reality, when things aren't in your face, you're not as worried about them. Avoid situations where negativity comes. Whatever is negative, remove it. Try your best to get out of that environment so that it's not in your reality anymore. Okay? Out of sight, out of mind. The next top tier tip I'm going to give you to block out all this negativity is to expect the best outcome always. Always expect the best outcome. Like I said earlier, it's like in our human nature to expect the worst. Like, especially if you have anxiety, you know that you think of the worst possible scenario in your head. And if something's wrong, if there's a problem, all you have to do is expect the best. If you're anxious, or if you feel like something in the future is just going to ruin, like your year is going to ruin your life, you need to change those thoughts and expect the best. I know for me, I'm not going to say I have an issue, but I have a thing with my cousins and my aunts and uncles and stuff like that. I have a thing where I don't like going to family events. I feel left out. If I didn't have my daughter there, I don't know what I would do. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I'm just not 100% me. I don't feel 100% myself. I always used to think of the worst possible scenario. They're gonna be all in my face, or nobody's gonna talk to me. I always think those thoughts, right? But this most previous time, when I went for Thanksgiving to my family's house, I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna go. I thought the best possible scenarios. I'm like, everything's going to be cool. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be happy. Granted, there were very awkward moments. There were very, I wish I wasn't here moments. But for the most part, everything turned out amazing. Everything I saw my family, I saw my grandma, which was the main purpose. And I expected the best, and that's what I got. I got a better outcome than if I were to think very negatively about going over there. So, long story short, always expect the best outcome. This can relate to like manifestation and getting the things that you want. If you expect the best outcome and you feel that feeling, then it's more likely to speed up and come to you. The next tip. Here's another top tier way to stay away from negativity. Train your mind to block it when it comes up. When you get a negative thought, you can have a negative thought right now. Change it. And the beautiful thing about knowing about the mind, by the way, I have a podcast called Supernatural Black Girl, all about training your mind to become supernatural. So go ahead and listen to that podcast if you are interested in that. But I'm going to sum it up a little bit here. When you train your mind, you have to be very conscious of your thoughts. You have to be conscious of what you're thinking about. It could be the most random times where something negative will come up, or you'll think about something from the past, or somebody brings you bullshit. What you need to do is learn how to block it. Whenever you get a negative thought, you train it to think something else. As I said, train. You have to train your mind, because you can't just do it one time and expect for all your negative thoughts to be changed to positive thoughts. No, you really have to train your mind and get it programmed in your subconscious that whenever I get a negative thought or whenever I feel this or that, I can change that as soon as I want to. Just change the way that you're thinking. It's okay to get negative thoughts. It's okay to dwell in it, as long as you're working towards learning how to not dwell in that past anymore, to not dwell in that negativity. You have to stop allowing the devil to take your positivity, because that's all that's happening when you get negative thoughts, or when you get jealous or envious, or when you feel like you're just not happy or you feel dark. That is the devil. So what you need to do is you need to catch that, and you need to be like, oh, no. What you're not about to do is mess with me. You're not about to mess with my mind. No, you're not about to do that. You don't control me. Your negative thoughts do not control you. So do not allow it to control you. Train your mind to stop letting your negative thoughts control you. Okay, you guys, we have 2 more tips to go. The next tip that I'm going to give you guys is to always stay calm as much as you can. People have a way of picking at you and making you feel crazy or like you're the problem. When people start picking at you, when I tell you guys I have experience in this, it doesn't even make sense how much experience I have in this. If someone starts picking at you, you have to stay calm. You cannot react. As soon as you react, you give the other person or situation the power. If someone is even disrespecting you, or if somebody is coming for you or being negative with you, you use your body language. You do not use your mouth. You don't say, you ain't, and da-da-da-da-da. No, use your body language. And there are videos on here, and there are even books that you can read that can help you to express yourself with your body language rather than with your mouth. Because honestly, your mouth is too much. It's too much talking. It's too much going on. And we're not about to keep talking about this when we already know what's going on. You don't really have to talk. There's something called a universal language, where all you have to do is use your body language. Universal language, that means anybody can read what you're trying to say. It could be your dog. It could be a foreign person. You can go to a different country. If you know universal language, you know everything. So stay calm, use your body language, do not react. Okay, guys, and the final thing that I'm going to tell you is I said this in all my videos, focus on your self-love. Focus on yourself, okay? Whether you are in a relationship, whether you are used to being around your friends all the time, or whether you are just even so focused on social media, change that energy to focus it on yourself. Because when you focus on yourself, you start learning yourself. You start learning what actually makes you happy, and you start to get more in tune with the things that you really want to attract. When you are focused on everybody else and their story and what they have going on, that energy can be brought back to you and make you feel more negative than you even wanted to. Granted, it's amazing to have company, people, relationships, connections. That's amazing. You have to focus on yourself if you want true happiness, and that's just how it is. I have said this multiple times, like even if you have been in a long relationship since your 20s or whatever the case is, or you've been in a long relationship since you were a teenager or whatever the case is, I am a deep believer in being alone, being single. You have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. If you don't know yourself, how can you love yourself? And granted, sure, you could learn who you are with somebody else, but what happens if they leave? The thing about this, I'm not going to get too deep into it. The thing about relationships nowadays is, I'm not talking about our relationships, just some of them. A lot of people are very hyper dependent on their partners. They're very clingy. It's giving, if they left, I need this person, whether I'm unhappy or not. So do not be one of those people who settles. Do not be one of those people who is very hyper dependent on somebody else, because that's going to be a fucking mess. I've been through it. I don't know if you've been through it before. You might be going through it right now. But when you settle and they end up leaving, you're not with them anymore. Like, you're not used to the life with them anymore. That shit hurts bad if you do not love yourself. You do not want to hurt like that. I got over my ex 2.5 years after we broke up. 2.5 fucking years. Why? Because I didn't love myself when I was with them. I loved them. I loved myself a little bit, but I loved them too. Like, I loved them more almost. So when they left me, I'm like, well, like, I'm fucked. So let's not do that. And I think I was mainly fucked because I didn't really have like any hoes. I didn't have anybody like, to hit up any like at all. And for the past, few years, I haven't been talking to anybody. So, granted, Sure, I might be alone sometimes, but at least I'm not settling. You know, at least I know my partner is out there looking for me too. And I know he's not about to settle either. So it is what it is. Focus on yourself until you are, no, always focus on yourself. But don't put so much energy into other people when you could put it into yourself, make your life way more happier, more positive, more beneficial in so many different ways. So focus on your self-love. But yes, those are all my tips for powerful ways to protect your energy from negativity. If you need any more advice like this, feel free to comment down below. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.